Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot on a very windy Wednesday afternoon. We are still in the thick of the end game, although it does seem more to be the end game of Omid Scobie and his writing career than of the royal family. They were out and about looking resplendent yesterday. All of them. Scooby-Doo's book is plunging down the bestseller lists on Amazon, and scathing reviews. Nobody wants to read it, and he has gone skulking back to California. Now the story is emerging from people like Lady C that Harry is very upset about the book, and he didn't have anything to do with it. With the leaking of the names, he didn't want those names leaked. He wasn't party to the skullduggery. Poor innocent Harry. It wasn't this one, it was that one. Lady C, she had a very interesting and strident video worth a watch. She's basically called on Meghan to sue her. Very interesting. And she seems to be writing another book as well. We're going to look at that. But right now I want to know what's going on. Why is Lady C coming to Harry's defense and saying, oh, he's innocent. He's very upset. It was all Meghan. She did it out of spite and malice. And she's the one, the wicked witch. And Harry is the poor innocent darling. And Duncan Larkham, who wrote a book about Harry, is also coming out and spreading the story that it was nothing to do with Harry. Harry's innocent. Harry isn't pleased. Harry wants to reconcile with his family, and this has made his life very difficult. Harry, of course, could come out and say this himself, and he's had plenty of time to do this. The book's been around now for quite a long time. It's been out and about. He could come out easily and say something. Let's show you the cards. But we're going to do a Celtic cross with the new chapter tarot, and we're going to have a look at this from Harry's point of view. How's he feeling right now about the book? What problems has it caused him? How involved was he? Because of course there is this story, the Neil Sean story, which Kinsey Schofield also picked up, that there was a package that was being passed the parcel from one of those places where Harry, according to Neil Sean, was staying. It wasn't San Ysidro Ranch necessarily, where Meghan is known to hang out, but perhaps the story has got a bit garbled. Perhaps it was only Meghan involved in the parcel and not Harry. We're going to try and find out today. We're going to try and nail the story down and see how involved he was, how upset he is right now. What's his relationship with Meghan right now? Is it in trouble? I did see trouble roundabout now in the looks ahead that I've done. And so let's see what's going on. Celtic cross coming up. I think we're ready to go with a new chapter tarot. I'm all tongue-tied today. Something strange in the air that's making me tongue-tied at the moment. And perhaps it's just end of year exhaustion. Possible. Let's remind you that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. I just read energy here. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it. Form your own opinions about this story. But let's have a look and see what the new chapter tarot want to tell us. We have the Two of Swords. A decision point. Let me put the card out for you. That's our underlying energy, the Two of Swords. Turning point, a decision, and that would be Harry. Harry is at this turning point in his life. What does he do? Does he stick with the wife, or does he give up on the marriage and life in Montecito and go back, crawling back to England, where he is very much not welcome? And it does seem to have dawned on him in the energy that I've been picking up in recent readings that he has got himself into trouble, and there is no going back. We've just seen it with the wedding invite that was not an invite, however much Meghan or the people close to Meghan claim that there was a save the date card sent out by the Duke of Westminster and his bride-to-be. Two of Swords, difficult decision to make. Which way is he going to go? That's our underlying energy. Let's see how he's feeling about the book right now. Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. That is being cautious, being strategic, being careful, not in a very comfortable energy. When you get the Page of Swords, Princess of Swords, it's not a comfortable card. It's on your guard, braced for attack, doing inquiries, investigating. He could actually, I don't know how capable he is of investigating things, but it is a card of investigation, looking into something, looking at emails, looking at parcels that were allegedly dropped at bungalows around and about in California. He might actually be having a bit of a think and making some inquiries, or getting people to make inquiries on his behalf, because, as I say, I doubt that he's particularly capable of doing it himself. But that's an interesting energy. That's not a trusting energy. It's not a comfortable energy. It's not, I'm so in love with my wife and we're so happy and I'm so pleased with the way the book is doing. Not at all. What's the particular problem? What's the challenge? The crossing card. The Four of Cups. That's it. That is it's normally an energy of indifference, of apathy, but it's also rejection. I'm getting there, it wasn't me feeling with that Four of Cups card. I want to distance myself from this. I want to say I really wasn't involved. I reject this book. But how does he reject this book without rejecting his wife at the same time? Tricky. And I'm not feeling sympathetic at all, just by the way. But Four of Cups, somebody who is looking away from a situation, saying it wasn't me, don't implicate me. He would like to do that is his problem, his challenge of how to distance himself. And perhaps the message has gone out to various people in the UK to start spreading this message. Why he can't stand up on his hind legs and say it for himself is a mystery. Coward, I would say. That's my personal opinion, and of course that's what I'm expressing in this reading. Let's have a look at what's going on behind the scenes, or what went on behind the scenes. How involved was he in the writing of this book, and in particular the leaking of those names? Seven of Wands is somebody who is feeling under attack, who is on the defensive. So I'm getting that he is feeling that he's being implicated and he doesn't want to be. That he's trying to push back, he's trying to defend himself, he's trying to say it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. It's not a collaborator kind of an energy, that Seven of Wands. It is more, I'm taking the high ground, I'm going to defend myself. I would like to defend myself. So I do get the idea that the message has gone out. With these two cards, these two very interesting cards, Four of Cups and Seven of Wands, have a similar energy about them, actually, of really, I didn't do it. What's his goal right now? Eight of Wands, that's communication. He wants to send a message out. He wants this message to get out. Wasn't me. I had nothing to do with this. I'm innocent. Don't attack me. Don't accuse me. Point the finger somewhere else. He wants to spread that message. Literally, Eight of Wands is communication, is PR, is messaging. He wants this message. I would say he wants this message to go out across the ocean and to land in the vicinity of his father and his brother. Wasn't me. But of course he's married to the one it was, allegedly or seemingly, very directly. So I don't think that information, that message is going to land very well. What were his expectations for the book? What did he think was going to happen? Five of Discs in reverse. That's an interesting card, because it's the card of alienation, exile, being cast out, being broke, being ruined. It's in reverse. Somehow this might have been spun to him, because he's not the brightest, he's not the sharpest. Although we have that quite sharp energy with that Princess of Swords there at the center of this reading. But the story might have been spun to him that if this book comes out, then everyone will feel sorry for him, and the doors will open and he will be received back in to places he's been shut out of. because the message will have been got out. The truth. We've had various attempts at the truth. We've had Finding Freebies, we've had the Netflix docu, we've had Spare. None of these have landed. He seems mystified by the fact that nobody in the royal family wants to read them, have meetings, have mediation, write an apology, make an apology, welcome him back with open arms, hand over half the Duchy of Cornwall, give Meghan Windsor Castle to live in. He doesn't seem to understand that these efforts to explain himself and to put across his point of view, his very vengeful and nasty and petulant and spiteful point of view, haven't had the result that he expected them to have. He still can't wear his uniform. But that seems to have been the idea behind this book. His expectation was that it would pave the way to some kind of return. It's mind-boggling. I'm just saying what the cards are telling me. I'm trying, I feel like I've just had a lobotomy, that a vital part of my brain has just literally fallen out of my head. But I am just reading energy. Let's remember that. What's he going to do next? Is it going to occur to him to make some sort of actual direct statement instead of letting Lady C and everyone else do this on his behalf? And that is my speculation, that she's doing it on his behalf. She seemed quite insistent on this. My speculation, of course. What's he going to do next? Cower in his bunker and carry on playing video games? Or is he going to actually man up and say something? He's having a think. 7 of discs. That is not an action card. That is a thinking card. That is taking stock of what has happened. And what has happened is upright. So he still thinks that he's in with a chance, that he's on the winning side here. Scooby-Doo might have a different opinion, given how poorly his book has sold. It's done extremely badly compared with Finding Freebies, as the other royal authors are rejoicing in pointing out. But this is I'm going to have a think about this. I'm going to check my bank balance. It might be a good idea to check his bank balance and see whether all the money that he thinks is there is really there. I'm just being snarky, of course. But that's have a think. Take stock, ponder, contemplate. It's not coming out and defending himself, defending the book, defending the royal family, defending his father, defending Catherine, doing any of the things that he could possibly do. It's, how wealthy am I? How successful am I? How much have I accomplished? It's slow energy. And it's not particularly, it's not a good response to the crisis that he doesn't seem to have realized is a crisis. He's got a vague idea from these cards, but he doesn't have a real idea of the level of crisis, the level of harm that this book has done. How does he view Meghan right now and her machinations? Ace of Wands. He thinks that this is a brilliant, brilliant strategy. So all this, he's so upset, and this is not the way he wanted it to go. No, I'm sorry, no. Not with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is, what a brilliant idea. He believes it. He believes what she tells him. He doesn't like that he's implicated, so he's sending out messages, wasn't me. I didn't want those names leaked. But he thinks that she's a mastermind. She's a genius. Ace of Wands. Very, very clever strategy, inspiration. He thinks that this was just a stroke of genius. That she is going to start a whole new chapter with this. And we've got this with the 5 of discs in reverse. That this was the way back in. This was the way to explain themselves, make themselves popular, get the press on their side, get the public on their side. Ace of Wands is illumination, enthusiasm. Everybody's going to be so excited by this and swept up in all of this, and the PR is going to be brilliant. He didn't seem to expect that she would have to go in her yoga clothes in a car park and do some marching and some of those giant strides that she takes when Backred is around. Very unfortunate. But he's not disappointed. He thinks this is brilliant. So I don't know where this whole so upset and he wasn't behind it and he had nothing to do. It was that one, not this one. What pressure is he under? 4 of discs in reverse. Well, that's not being in control of a situation. Very obviously, 4s are about stability and structure, and in reverse, losing control, losing money. As I say, he's sitting here counting, he's in the counting house counting out his money, really, in the near future. He's not writing letters of apology or making statements, or he's not concerned about the impact this has had on anyone but himself, and also more specifically his own financial situation. This is losing control, though. That's the pressure he's under, costing him money, losing status, losing his royal adjacent status. He's worried about that this might cost him Councillor of State, it might cost him line of succession, it might cost him titles. That's all he's cared about, all he cares about. I really can't speak today. As I say, this is only about him. He thought he was going to be welcomed back into the fold as a result of this. They would apologize. They would see the error of their ways. Now a little bit of distance, now a little bit of, no, it wasn't me. But the thing he's really worried about is he's going to lose all those important things. And a lot of people are speculating. The Royal Grift's done a very insightful video on it, worth watching, about the court case and the visa and all the rest of it and what's really going on. And if he loses the Councillor of State thing, and he loses the court case and he doesn't have that IPP status and he's not a working royal at any shape or form, and he's kicked off the website, he loses his visa, he loses his status in the US, he's in big trouble. That's what he's worried about. He's not worried about how he might have ruined Catherine's life and the King's. Not at all. What's his hope and his fear right now? We've got the 10 of Cups. Well, there it is. He is worried about being cut out from the family. Just a little bit worried, 10 of Cups in reverse, that there is no going back. There is not going to be a rapturous welcome for him if he is kicked out of the US because he's no longer on a diplomatic visa, and he's not going to be that intellectual giant at giving advice, as Forbes magazine has suggested. He would be a brilliant candidate to be a military advisor and strategist. The mind boggles. What's left of my mind that hasn't fallen out during this reading? But it is in his mind, what's the tiny bit of brain that he has, that the family isn't going to welcome him back. The outcome of this situation, I have specifically asked about his relationship with Meghan, because, you know, Lady C saying it wasn't him, it was her, Duncan Larkham saying the same thing, everyone repeating this on Twitter. So outcome for them as a couple, but whatever. 6 of Discs, it's not over. It's not over with that 6 of Discs. This is the quid pro quo, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, that kind of energy. They're still in this together with that 6 of Discs. They're still scheming. They're still a brand. They're still going to be seen together at things as we have seen them in the past few months. That is not over. It's not over because of money. And this is all he cares about, money. So it's a vague background noise that maybe he's upset everyone and they won't have him back. He does want to send this message out. It wasn't me, it was her. But not really. He still thinks it was a genius idea. This book was brilliant. The strategy, all of it. He is still, I want to say, almost hypnotized, dazzled. Dazzled is a better word by that Ace of Wands. Brilliant idea. What a clever idea. It has not actually seen the truth of the situation, hasn't seen it yet. And in my readings of what's going to happen in that relationship, it's she's the one who's going to decide to bail, and not him. We're going to look at it all again over the coming weeks, have a look at what's coming up next year. We're going to do some long reads and dig into what's happening next year with them. But as far as this situation goes, I'm not seeing much in the way of shame, regret, remorse. I'm seeing maybe doing a bit of a scratch around and a dig and an investigation, feeling like he himself is under attack, but not taking any responsibility for what's happened. Wasn't me, didn't do it. He was expecting good things from this book. He was expecting doors to open, brought back into the fold. He wants the royals to believe, to get the message it wasn't him. Very concerned about his money and his status with the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Discs there in reverse. This is, to me, the most startling card of all. That's where my brain really fell right out. He is concerned about the royal family, but no, he and Meghan are going to be continuing this crazy journey together, because that's where he feels safe and that's where he thinks his future lies, his financial future. He is at a turning point here with this Two of Swords, but he's nowhere near seeing how serious his situation is. Mind-boggling energy in this reading, but that's it. That's what's coming through for me. And so there it is. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.